As the 70s drew to an end, the House of Rothschild remained sure-footed and optimistically cemented into the foundations of the World Bank. Wild parties, Roman-style orgies, satanic practice, and all-round skullduggery and deviousness aside, held no weight to any hint of a certain downfall of the family, which was by now a ferocious financial monster. Sailing this mighty vessel, we are introduced to 4th Baron Nathaniel Charles Jacob Rothschild, a terribly shrewd and perspicacious individual with the wit and charm of a Hollywood movie star and the intelligence to match even the finest mathematician. Although being an avid leader towards the serious and perplexing business of world banking, Jacob, as he prefers to be known, also enjoys many facets of the art world and, like his ancestors, holds high regard to the deep and dangerous recreation of the black arts, voodoo and spirit summoning. This brings us to another fable of which, so legend has it, did not turn out good for the certain individuals involved. As a true expert of the questionable activity of the seance, Jacob Du Rothschild hosted a private event at Waddesdon Manor in Buckinghamshire, England, on the 31st of October 1982, entertaining such celebrities as Thor Hurd, a youthful John Nettles, Peter Davidson, Lorraine Chase, Floella Benjamin, Captain Peacock, and Benny from Crossroads. This star-studded and confidential congregation remained under tight-lipped secrecy and was not spoken of until the tragic events of said evening catastrophically mesmerized, leaving but all classified nature of the bizarre proceeding utterly impossible to keep away from the prying eyes of the tabloid press and world media. What is said is that during the seance, Rothschild, well known for his wicked sense of humor, deliberately conjured up Belphegor, the god of Moabites, who thoroughly insisted and forcefully demanded the blood of a female be offered to him at once. As Belphegor pointed a sharp and crusty finger at the bewitching, befuddled Thor Hurd, Benny from Crossroads leapt across the table to her rescue, lunging at the demon with his fists tightly clenched, commencing battle with the terrifying entity. As candles fell to the ground, spreading flames throughout the chamber, Rothschild took to his feet and, grinning, left through a private doorway tucked away within the masonry of the grand fireplace, making his escape to safety, where he could gaze upon his evil deed atop a hill, laughing manically as his manor burned to the ground, taking almost everyone trapped inside into the fiery depths of hell. A fitting and exemplary sacrifice to the fallen angels in which the House of Rothschild so lovingly venerate and exalt behind the jaded curtains of their extraordinary family title. Luckily, John Nettles, using his tough skills as Sergeant Police Detective Jim Bergerac, managed to smash a window, to which all but Benny from Crossroads escaped the scorching licks from an untamed fire, which scalded Benny's face and body to nothing more than a glowing skelly bone. Nothing was left within the ruins of the Great Fire except for one solitude wank sock, which was said to be owned by the 4th Baron, a fitting reminder to a terrible and agonizing incident which left Britain reeling with anger and lost to the termination of a great show that pushed the boundaries of television, hence the incident infamously being known to all as the day that the TV died. Cynics and rationalists believe this tale to be baked up camel shit, and all celebrities involved insist nothing of the sort happened upon this frightful night. Most of all, Benny from Crossroads, who went on to establish a glorious career on stage and gave a sensational performance as a baker-turned-rapist in episode 47 of ITV's comedy drama, Bad Girls. Due to the huge financial clout and immense wallop of the Rothschild name, pressure and bribes were allegedly showered upon the remaining celebrities involved, whom, after very little thought and menacing encouragement, remained unforthcoming about this cruel and tragically dangerous practical joke, and laughed all rumours off as utter claptrap and stupendously overdrenched tommy rot. Lest we mention, although the manor was at the time a decrepit carcass of its former glories, offering nothing more than collapsing foundations and soggy floorboards, The insurance payout was by far a sum that could only be described as a boon from God himself, had any other person in the world received it. Unless it was a fucking Rockefeller. After summarizing the bloodline and family tree of the Rothschilds, we come to the conclusion that not only have they the tenacity and slickness and slyness and cunningness and shiftiness and shrewdness of a chain of polecats networking throughout the blinding darkness of night, but they also hold the carnality and wickedness and depravity to freeze even the bravest of person into a submission of apologetic fright and squeeze all hope from an enemy with a giant unquenchable fist of doom. And to this we praise the House of Rothschild, and long may they prosper.